This should piss off every veteran. The VA treats us like shit on the most part, and American citizens should be standing up for veterans and not supporting illegal aliens. Veterans get treated like shit, and we're rolling out the red carpet for frickin' illegal aliens that are crossing the border. You just keep paying your taxes, people. Don't take any action. Don't call your congressmen. Don't call your senators. I know they're lazy. They're out fundraising. But this shit pisses me off.
Capitol Hill with more. Hillary.
Good evening, Liz. Well, a source who works in CBP, who's been in law enforcement for over 20 years, tells me that they are preparing for double the number of migrants that came in 2021 in the year after Title 42 lifts. In the first 6 weeks, DHS is bracing for at least 500,000 people at the border. The source telling me this, quote, if 500,000 people come in 1 month, that's an emergency. There is no way we have enough federal agents and NGOs and NGAs. There's not enough people going around. It's literally going to be a revolving door, getting people in and getting people out. The Biden administration promising vaccines for migrants is causing another headache for the administration. There isn't enough existing medical staff to dole out doses to thousands of migrants a day. This CBP source telling me they are considering pulling medical personnel from the VA, an idea that is not sitting well with some at the CBP. My source telling me this, quote, we're going to be taking medical services away from people that really deserve that. They went to combat for that. Veterans can't get medical attention, but we're going to give free medical attention to illegal migrants. Liz, in the long term, there is a thought of rolling out a smartphone app that would allow migrants to do pre-screening before they show up to a point of entry. While that may help them get processed faster, it would create a backlog on the other side of the border of migrants who are quickly let in, but then waiting to have their asylum case adjudicated. Liz?
Hillary Vaughn, thank you so much. Joining us now, Fox News contributor and former acting ICE director Tom Homan. Okay, this is policy ad hoc and on the fly. This is total chaos at the border. Your reaction to this report, what you just heard?
It's ridiculous. Now veterans are going to suffer because of Biden's open border policy. Everything we just heard is how we going to deal with the incoming and how we going to release them and how we going to treat them. How about securing the border? How about going back to the Trump policy, secure the border, then the veterans aren't suffering, they're not running out of detention space and medical services. How about doing their job securing the border? You know, Liz, I was looking at numbers today. Since Biden's become president, do you know they have released into the United States 757,000 people into the United States. They got 1.9 million encounters last year. Right now, in the new fiscal year starting in October, in this new fiscal year, they're at 1 million already with 6 months in. So even if they don't touch Title 42, even if they leave Title 42 in place, they're looking at 2 million.
Yeah, and it was bad even with Title 42 there, right? Even with the Trump, it was still bad. Now they're talking. So now you've got Senators Mark Warner, Democrat Senators Kyrsten Sinema, Mark Kelly. Also lawmakers from border states like, Vicente Gonzalez and Henry Cuellar out of Texas saying, you guys, what you're doing to the border communities is horrendous. You are flooding the zone there. They are not equipped with their infrastructure, their hospitals, their medical services to handle the influx, what the White House is doing to the border states. This is a federal state issue, Tom, you and I have talked about. They're getting pounded and hammered in the border communities.
Yeah, look, Henry Cuellar, he's been in the fight from the beginning. I respect Henry. Even though he's a Democrat, he's been pushing back to this administration about open borders policy. As far as Mark Kelly's concerned from Arizona, he's in a state that's being overrun. He hasn't said a single thing until now, and he's doing it now because of midterms. They're all right now running scared because of midterms. They're not doing this for the right reason. If they did, they would have been talking about this during the first year of the Biden administration, when they had almost 2 million people encountered, had over 600,000 gotaways, and 757,000 releases into the United States. That's when they should have been raising hell. Now they're worried about the midterms, so they're speaking up.
But they don't have a plan B for the migrant surge, right? They don't have plans for it. That's what people are upset about.
No.
And they could do this in May.
They don't have plans. What their plans are right now, they're going to send as many Border Patrol assets to the border as possible to process quickly and release quickly, so there doesn't appear to be a crisis. They're more concerned with the optics of the crisis than the crisis itself. Now, the secretary said the other day, or the Department of Homeland Security said, we have to release people because there's not enough detention beds. That's a stone cold lie. I made a phone call to a major ICE contractor. They have 10,000 empty beds as we speak. 10,000 empty beds that have already been paid for that they're not filling.
Got it. Tom Homan, thanks for joining us. We'll have you back on again soon. We're so sorry, Rand.
Have you noticed that as everything around you seems to decline, one thing still grows? It is the power of your rulers. None of their plans and directives have solved your problems or made your life better. The only result has been their increased control over you at the cost of your freedom. Do you know why? You gave them the power.